evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for waiting. Welcome back to GameStar TV1. This is Crisis here, pushing buttons in the background and bringing your next match to you. It's going to be Surge Esports Club versus the newly formed Redux Esports Club. In fact, two teams that are brand new, haven't entered HEYPAL until now. Redux carrying over 3 players from Instant Epidemic, though, so they'll carry over the points from week 1. Surge versus Redux, brought to you by GameStar TV. Take it away, EJ.
No worries. Thank you, Crisis. And when we actually look at the standings for tonight's round robins, this is actually 7 versus 2. So Surge is sitting in second place with their 1 loss of the night. They had the bye last round, of course, and Redux have lost their opening 2 games. So we're waiting to spectate this one and get it going. So if anyone's on the team, by all means, feel free to tell them to get this one a cracking. Myth, looking at the 2 teams, they're both new teams, as Crisis said, to tonight's competition. No, neither of them have form on the board.
Redux was IELA in week 1, so they came second in week 1, but they've rebranded themselves tonight.
And that might have been a mistake. They're not winning at all tonight, poor buggers. Surge set a new Oceanic Paladins broadcast record of not picking up a kill in a broadcast match. So that's a title they want to lose very quickly. Not sure how they ever will lose that very quickly, but let's just run through the 2 teams here tonight. So Surge is on the blue, Archimedes, Xylos, Indeed, Calder, and Stan with a re. And over on the Redux side, we've got fried rice. Oh, see, now this is you just trolling EJ with the rice dishes tonight. DSL 97, Turles, Braddocks, and B Wacker is too good for anybody. So early picks coming in here, Myth. It's fairly standard. We see this at the start of most games. So double tanks already for the boys from Surge.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary from what I can see here. Some of these, you're actually right. With Redux, they've seen the pick some of their players up. I have not seen these players before, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. I'm excited for this one, actually.
Yeah, no, it's good just that new players are even joining the competitive scene. Paladins is a great game. It's a free game. You can get in and play it. The most people who are watching tonight already realize this. And there's huge international opportunities with big prize money. So when you've got a publisher who's willing to put their hand into their back pocket for their own game, it's pretty good. And Australia's going to benefit from that. So it's great to see new players coming in. Calder has just picked up the Groot there, so that's a great play. And Cassie is the last choice.
We did say last week, or we did note last week, that as soon as Calder started playing support on the Groot, their fortunes changed somewhat. Even though they lost the match that we spectated, he did very, very well as the Groot, and we'll be looking for a carry from him again.
Well, that will be their intent. If he stays with it, we'll wait and see if there's any swapping going on. Frog Isle, unfortunately, we weren't able to do our swapping around, so we had to do a remake on that one. What map are we on, by the way? I should have
Frozen Guard.
Ooh, very nice indeed. Ying being the last player there, picked up by Redux. So we just wait for the changes to occur. So a little bit of swapping around at the moment. Victor's changed positions. Grover's moved up to Xylos. Archimedes sticking with the Marcoa, and Cassie this time for Calder. So he loves his DPS characters, and we'll wait and see what he can deliver. And don't forget, he's going to deliver next week when we'll have a little bit of a special segment with Calder before next week's round. So make sure you're on the stream bright and early to get that one next week. We are just loading into the game at the moment. It's Team Redux versus Surge Esports Club. And it is Paladins action, week 2 action from the HEYPAL Paladins Summer Series. And the match is getting ready to begin. Alrighty, so we're into card pick phase or loadout phase. So, Myth, anything exciting happening as far as loadouts?
I'm not going to concede just yet. Usually it gives them a little bit before they log in and change their loadout. So we'll see if they swap anything out in a second. But, yeah, some of these loadouts don't quite make sense.
All right, so we'll just wait and see what's happening. And if my mother's tuning in, which she's not, and Nathan, please don't repeat this. Thanks for just texting me the result of the thing that you're watching that I said I'm not watching because I'm casting. What a champion. Anyway. You love mothers with text buttons. You all got them. You all love them. We all love them. They're our mums. All right, so we are 45 seconds into getting this one underway. And as we know with these siege maps, the clash will take place at the central point. Teams have to capture that, push the little objective across the map. First player, team to 4 points, will take victory here tonight in round 3 action.
Yeah, there we go. The loadouts have changed now. Everything seems very standard. Very basic loadouts for most teams. They don't seem to differ from what the build is at the moment. It's very meta-orientated, so pretty.
And one good thing, Myth, about this game compared to a lot of other games is the fact that you can actually pick the loadouts of other players to see what the top pros are playing, see who ranked 1 is playing. And that's a real good way to develop the scene and develop players into knowing what works, what doesn't, and so forth. So love it. All right, battle is underway here, and both teams charging into the center point now. And first onto the point is Surge, so they're going to love that start. Archimedes and Envid are in there. DSL challenges them here on the Fernando. And putting the point on. First blood goes down. Oh, it's Calder again, Myth. He's started 2 matches in a row that we broadcast. Oh, he must love it. Poor bastard. And he won't be happy about that at all, though, Myth. I'm stirring him up.
Oh, he seems like the leader's team in most fights, and I don't know if it's working out quite well for him.
Well, someone's got to be in the front line and take that bullet to the face. Redux here are retaking this point. So Braxis is there at the moment. 45% they've got this up to. And Victor is just backing him up at the side. Tulip's dropping back here on the Andronicus, just trying to get some flank in. Here come the boys onto the point now from Surge, just trying to break this front line up. Envid is here, Archimedes. Xylos just throwing axes left, right, and center, trying to get her picks off as he can. DSL has gone down, and that'll give them the chance to retake this point. And at 75% take on behalf, Braxis is still on here. In fact, Redux might pull this off because they pulled off the point. Myth.
Yeah, no, so it seems to be they've cleared them out, and just 2 more to fall before they take the point. But it's very close right now, 93 to 48. It could go either way.
Stop the payload.
There we go. The payload has been captured here, and I actually pressed the wrong push to talk button, and I'm kind of glad I did, because what I called the payload then was not probably fit for the audio files of Australia. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left on this round clock here. 1-0 with the initial capture by Reticent, so they'll be very happy with that. That puts them in a strong position. Carts rolling across the map. Will come into the overpass now. The defense by the Surge boys set up under overpass here. Xylos is leading that charge. Archimedes is with him. Calder's trying to get these early picks. Oh, Evie blinks in the back, just trying to break it up. Manages to get a bit of damage in on Ying. That was great work. Oh, and there goes Charlene as well. So this is the best push we've seen. Archimedes, Envil, Calder all picking up kills for Surge here. Great defense pushed by the team. They've got this cart rolling back, picking up another kill as well. And Tulips wasn't on much health then, Myth. If they had probably trailed him, they could have picked him up.
I seem to have got some technical issues again. You might have to just take over.
That's real good. And the boys from, that was the, I called him to come and die. Archimedes rushing in there. And that was truly getting a bit of an axe to the head Rexy's weekend. Now we're just pushing across the map. Well, we're not pushing anywhere. In fact, the defense is holding very solid by the team of Surge. They've got 3 of their team currently on fire, and 3 have their ultimates up. So very dominant showing here. This is really good performance. This will boost them up very well. Archimedes comes around, comes around the back, drops out Calder, and he's doing his best from a above impersonation here. Can't quite get the kills he wants to get. Did do a lot of damage though, and that's giving Redux the chance to push in. Victor's gone down. They needed his DPS to assist that. It's Charlene and Ying and the last 2 alive. They're not going to be able to retake the cart just with the 2 of them when they're up against a Grover and 2 tanks, that is Envid and Archimedes. Archimedes is just staying back here, protecting the car payload so no ninja gets through and gets a bit of a push on. Reticent with 23 seconds on the clock. Did capture the point first. They are being locked out here by a great defensive play by the boys from Surge. 15 seconds. Oh, nice hook up into the air. And Trolls had no response. And a bit of a frag steal there by Calder, though, so he'll be getting called frag stealer on his dig scored at the moment by the team. They've retaken this cart, though. Reticent want to leave it right to the last minute to try and do it. They are pushing in overtime. Doot, doot. The overtime train has departed the station, and Team Reticent are all aboard. And it's pushing under the underpass now. This is the furthest they've got it so far in the map. DSL shield proudly displayed there. Fernando on the front of the cart. And the boys from Surge are just setting up across the final overpass here. Archimedes drops down. They cannot let this car push forward, or they don't want to. They got to push them off to try and get it. DSL is in a world of hurt. He goes down at the front. That's going to hurt them. Braxis trying to stay around it. Charlene as well. The overtime is ticking. Archimedes is here kicking into gear. Oh, it's all still Braxis. What great Ying play. Doing the best. And Andronicus is there, but they defended it successfully. They did sufficient to push him off the point. And Braxis not able to save it as yet. Overtime stop just out in front of the archway. And that is 1-1 here in Surge Esports Club versus Team Reticent. HEYPAL Week 2 Summer Series 17 action coming to you live on GameStar. I'm EJ. I'm joined by Myth. Myth, how is your technical difficulties going at the end of that round?
I'm getting back in now. Hopefully I'll catch up to you. But very exciting by the sounds of it. They found out, so good to see this won't be a 4-0. Just finally.
Well, no, not at all. And I'm glad we're broadcasting a match that isn't 4-0. This is what the spectators want to see. They want to see competitive paladins on a Thursday night. They don't want to see people lubing up and just bending over. It's all about contests here. And the next contest is going to take place. Here they come charging into the point. And neither point team going straight onto it. No, DSL has noticed no one's there. He figures might as well get a... Oh, we've got a pause. Turles has paused the game. Who have we dropped? We'll see if we can find out what's going on here. I can't really work it out. Everyone appears to be in the server. We might get Aggro Tank to do a quick query in the Paladins chat just to see, or message Calder or someone, and just see what the prompt for the pause has been. But this is a great opportunity. If they know Myth isn't in the game, that's what it is. They're just waiting for Myth to rejoin, so to bring his expert analysis to this breakdown.
Yeah, they're letting me catch up, so hopefully I can...
Yeah, that's what I was just really pleased with. 4-4-3 for Stan on the Eevee. Calder NZ 5-4-8. We are back in the action here. So the kill death ratios, you can check them out yourselves as the match goes on. 27% captured here by Reticent. 639, 640, 641 is on the clock. And we have a slow retake now by Surge. They've got it to 3%. No one's staying on the point. Now, I know it's important to get kills, but you could leave at least a support back there. And that's what Xylos is doing. He's dropping back, but Xylos might go down there. He's not on much health at all. Trolls has come through, and Trolls cleans him up. And he's not a troll, he's a Trolls. And Friendly's with him. They're going to get this one again. Team Reticent very strong in the opening phase of the game here when it comes to point capturing mid. There you go.
So I'm almost back.
Oh, he's catching up, ladies and gentlemen. How exciting for him. He'll be watching all these kills and all these plays. Bodies hitting the floor, but Reticent are hitting the point, and it is 75% in their favour. And Ultimate's been popped. Andronicus has gone off at the back here. Hasn't managed to pick up any kills with that, so not the best, but he picked up Calder's after that. So that probably counts for the equivalent of 10 kills. 39% and 42%. Surge back onto the point here. Envy pops his big guns ultimate from his mech and drives them off the point. That allows him to get to 51%. But Fork is just 2G. Picking up a double Victor kill. Eevee popped the ult as well. We are into overtime on the point, but it's going to go in favor of Team Reticent. And they're going to take 2 ultimates with them now as they have caught the objective. And the payload will have to be stopped again if the defense can hold out for the boys from Surge. Now, Myth, I don't know if you've caught up. We're at 8:09, 8:10 on the clock. 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in the round.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm only at 5 minutes. The replay is quite slow.
It's a travesty, ladies and gentlemen, for the casting world. DSL has picked up a double kill with the Fernando out the front here off the cart. Reticent getting a really strong roll on here. This is not the sort of defense we saw before from the Surge boys. They haven't been able to set up. And in fact, they're getting Rick Astley played to them at the moment as this is playing across the airwaves of the cart, pushing through. Archimedes trying to break it up here. Not doing much though. He's got Envied with him. It's a double tank on one tank, but they're not even really enough to push him off. They have stopped the cart. That's probably the most important thing. That'll allow the players like Calder and that to set up and get some DPS going. DSL trying his best to keep him one-man army going on the point. Oh, Fred Ray drops a beautiful combo there and takes out Zelos. That's going to hurt them big time. Nice hook by Archimedes on the cart. DSL still bouncing around here, but he's not going to be able to hold it out all himself. He drops back and waits for teammates. In fact, he gets dragged just out under the archway. And Surge have managed to stop this push, and they've got a great setup now. 1 minute and 3 seconds left on the clock. And Surge are in a position here, Myth, to go to a 2-all and get a successful defense.
Got to say, the hooks have been on point from Archimedes tonight. EJ, I've been checking him a little bit, giving him some stream love. And just time and time again, he's putting out the note and saying, you're not getting away, it's time for you to die.
Yeah, he'll take the Fisherman Award for sure later tonight, particularly out of this match. Here comes the push though. Reticent got 30 seconds on the clock. Fernando's coming back onto the point. That is ESL. Jules went round behind, took out the healer. So great play there. Support play kill by Jules on the Androxus with great flanking work, and they have captured the card again. So a great coordinated team push. Drax is picking up a double. Belcork is just 2G with his 1 kill. And I'm not quite sure what Zelos is doing. He's not going to worry about the charge. He knows he's just going to die. Absolutely cream coming out of the point. We've got an explosion going off. Oh, Envy and Archimedes have managed to get down here. We are in overtime. Are they going to be able to pull it off? This could happen, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen stranger things. We saw them go a whole match and not even get a goddamn kill. At least this one they picked up a point, but I don't know if a point's going to be enough tonight. Archimedes is here. Zelos has come back to back him up. Oh, if you can count on someone to back you up on the point, you can count on Zelos. Don't know about Envy. Here he comes in late just to claim the glory. Defended successfully. Oh, thanks to Envy, ladies and gentlemen. Take a bow, Mr. Envy. Myth. Did you manage to catch up and see that?
All right, I just managed to catch the tail end of that. That was really well done. He got back on that point right at the last second.
And great work by them. Myth running through some stats as we're going through the game. Who's leading our kills at the moment, and who's doing dishing out that damage?
All right, so it looks like Androxus is having one heck of a game. He's at 14 eliminations at the moment, our highest on the board. And damage dealt, though, we've got Charlotte doing 83,000 in...
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yes, he's for the top 4 damage are actually at the moment all on the side of Redux. So
Redux putting on, and that's evident by their early point captures. They are very strong hitting this first point. And they're strong with the car push as well. We are in a pause at the moment, by the way, by Fried Rice trolling me because I haven't had dinner yet. So thanks, Fried Rice. I'll hit menu log at the end of this game and ordering some Chinese, that's for sure. And the joys of working from home tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. When you get to work from home, you get to little late night Chinese. Game is still paused. 15 seconds is on the clock until the teams are going to spawn and come into the point. From an ultimate point of view, we have Surge have 3 ultimates ready to go. We're back into play here, and it is Ying and Fernando still have ultimates to use if they need to on the boys from Redux, who I think I've been calling Reticent for about the last half hour. So if the teams are listening, shout out to you. All right, we're underway. 2-2 is the current scoreline. Both teams pushing in here on the point. Neither one engaged aggressively at the start of the last one. We had a left flank and a right flank, and we've seen it similarly this one. And I'm liking Surge here. They're mixing up their straps, trying to try different angles, different pushes onto the point, and it's working for them to some degree. 1 kill each, 2 kills have gone down. Braxix and the Bork is just 2G, ladies and gentlemen, on that Victor, taking out the Envy. So tanks are down. Reticent are on the point. It's the 2G man himself. And what was that, Crisis? Redux. Yeah, you can't hear Crisis, but I can. So when I talk to him, you're like, what? EJ's going nuts. And you're probably not wrong. B-Walk is 2G, picking another double kill there. He heard us probably talking, I think, Myth, giving Andronicus the raps. And he's like, screw that. I want to be top DPS.
Yeah, I think he's trying to make some plays for his teams here and really show that the Victor's a payoff for this team. I'm looking for the Eevee to try and combo with this Ruckus here to take the point back, but
they couldn't get the position. I was with you as well, waiting for that combo, but it wasn't to come to fruition. They're going to have to use it on this side if they want a chance, and we're going to come down to sudden death on the final point if they can do a successful defense. This was definitely the match of the round of spec. We probably already got the results for the other matches, and this one is going the all distance, ladies and gentlemen. Pushed off the card at the moment, and this is great work by Ying. Braxis is having a fantastic game on Ying tonight, doing a really good job of keeping the momentum of the game going, and where possible helping out at the cart. They have managed to retake the cart and pushing it through here, so the defense, I think they overcommitted actually, Myth there. They're fighting on the point, and the cart's getting pushed unattended through to the final point, so I think Archimedes got a little bit caught out of position there.
I think he was a bit too far up without his team there, so... They've got Calder in the back lines from what I can see, but I don't know how they're going to slow the momentum at this point.
All right, so the push coming back into the point. DSL, where he has been most of the night, right in the front line on this Fernando, as he should be. Braxis is absolutely racking up the points, being the car pusher. Surrounding the point now, or the cart, is called. He's got it there with Archimedes. They have stopped this push, and this is where it's been a difficult point for the boys from Redux to get the cart going again. We will have to let them watch possibly for a regroup. They've got 3 ultimates up their sleeve, Victor and Charlene and Ying, so they will probably bring those to the fore, and they definitely don't want to get caught back under this bridge. 52 seconds on the clock here in this round 3 action, week 2 action of the HEYPAL Summer Series 17 Paladins competition. And the action coming to you thick and fast here on GameStar. We wait for the players to get back in for ready for this push. So there's the engagement has taken place, and Ruckus picking up, or trying to pick up a bit of a interference there to help his Makoa out. Wasn't able to do it. Rakoa again with the hook. That's Archimedes. He's been pretty deadly with that hook tonight. Missed some good hits. Not finishing off the kills though.
A bit of loss of coordination there. He's getting the hooks, but no one's really quite finishing up the champions.
Yeah, he's not getting the backup when they're pulling in from his teammates. As you said, we're out going to go into overtime again, the same as the last round. So with 3 seconds left on the clock, 1 second, and we are on it. We are in overtime. This is the exact point the engagement took place last time, and it's the same player, DSL, trying his best here to push this cart through for Redux. They've got it a little bit further. In fact, they've got a full team here at the moment. If they can get a couple of early picks on this, they're going to go quite well. Trills has just trolled around the back to see if he can get a kill. He's trying to get some recharge as well as some help into him. And, Trills gets picked up, doesn't manage to die. Great push. They're going to get it. Redux coming through. They're up on top of the point. The boys from Surge trying to stop it. They're going to respawn. 2 players are up. Defense successful. All you need to do, Myth, at the end there, is just get them off the cart, and that overtime's going to tick down very quickly.
Yeah, when you have the payload so far out in overtime, it's really hard to stay on it and keep the momentum when you're getting surrounded, because the respawns are so close together. So, yeah, as you've seen, another successful defense, and we're going to be going into the last round.
In the last round, what a round, sudden death. Whoever captures the point, they are going to take this a round 3 game. And this has been match of the night so far from our point of view. What great action we're seeing from 2 pretty evenly matched teams, I got to say, when you're going 3-3 into the final round. So the call for teamwork coming out on the Twitch chat. The call that reticent aren't as bad as either of these teams competing coming out on the Twitch chat. But both of these teams charging into the point now. And it's no flanking, no nothing. It's straight on the point. DLS locking it down here as he does with the Fernando. And already 24, I should say, % on the clock. And a great early push by Reticent. Boy, oh boy, Myth, they're going to have to counter this pretty hard if they want to stay in this one, the boys from Surge.
Yeah, well, they need to start dropping some of the ults, I feel.
And there's no point ending this game with them still in your back pocket. It's not going to do you any good. They've got it up to 9% here, so Archimedes has managed to hold on to this point. Ying just dropping bullets into it at the moment. Shield up, rolls out of the way. He's going to get dropped at the back there. Unfortunately, he didn't have his Grover with him. Stan the Reed just pops through as the Eva doesn't get a kill. They are well and truly in the trouble now. 57%. Victor's calling in his ultimate. That's the Biwaka. It's just 2G for everyone. And he's 2G for me. I can't even say the poor bastard's name. 90% on the clock, and they are running this one down. Enemy popped his ultimate to try for it, but it is a kill fest on the side of Reticent. Archimedes, last man on the point. We are in overtime. It's not going to matter. And this one's going in the favour of the Redux, and they pick up their first win of the night, which they'll be extremely happy about. And that moves Surge to a 0-2. However, I do have to say, Myth, that from what we saw in round 1 from Surge to what we saw just then, they're even improving just as the night goes on.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better. I mean, this was a lot closer than the previous one that we watched. And it's the only difference being, as you can see through the damage numbers, that they really showed up on the damage players on the side of Redux.
Well, with the exception of Ying, which is understandable, everyone's over 100k. I mean, that's just outstanding.
Yes, it's quite impressive. The 90,000 healing, fairly similar to Xylos, so there's nothing in the difference there.
Yep.
But yeah, I'd say the biggest thing was just the damage.
All right, MVP myth from this particular game. If you had to pick one, who would you put your money on?
I mean, the hooks were amazing, but it's not enough to win you the game, obviously. So
No.
that's unfortunate. But I don't know. No, I'd say DLS did very well.
Yeah, I agree. DLS 97. So DLS 97 picks up the GameStar Man of the Match nomination for this match. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, very shortly from Bris Vegas, just for Matt SE. We'll see you very shortly after this short break. Round 4 action coming up.